Who remembers Hanna Barbera animation cartoons from yesteryear? It was a company founded by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera in 1957, the creators of Tom and Jerry. Hanna Barbera was active from 1957 until it was absorbed by Warner Brothers in 2001. This animation company, at its height of popularity, was without a doubt one of the best animation studios in all of animation. It would be safe to say that it gave some of the other animation giants such as Warner Brothers, Universal, and yes, even Disney a run for its money. For those who don't remember the Hanna-Barbera animation and some of its most iconic cartoon characters of all time, they had characters such as Huckleberry Hound, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Johnny Quest, which was one of my favorite shows of all time. I used to run home from school to make sure I didn't miss this show. It was iconic. They had the Banana Splits. They had Grape Ape, Scooby-Doo. I watched Scooby-Doo every Saturday. The first 2 seasons of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Was just classic TV as a child in the 70s. You didn't miss it. They had the classic Wacky Race. They had Hong Kong Phooey. They had the Smurfs. Now, everybody remembers the Smurfs from the early 80s. My sister loved the Smurfs. They had Johnny Bravo later on with the Powder Puff Girls. And they had so many more. And a lot of people just didn't realize, when I went back and started doing this video, they had people I didn't even know was part of Hanna-Barbera, which was, kind of cool to go back and look at. And let's not forget about their superhero catalog. They had the Super Friends that they licensed from DC. They had Blue Falcon and Dynomutt, the Herculoids, which was also classic, Birdman, and they had the Fantastic Four, which they licensed from Marvel. That cartoon there, I fell in love with Marvel because of that cartoon. I was watching that in the 70s, and the Fantastic Four, I didn't realize it was a comic book until I saw that cartoon, and then I saw one on a spin rack at 7-Eleven, and it was due to Hanna-Barbera that I got into Marvel Comics at that time. So iconic to me. And of course, they had Space Ghost, and Space Ghost was awesome. And we all know later on they had the Space Ghost talk show, which was actually pretty hilarious. Hanna-Barbera dominated American cartoons for a long time. So, what happened to them? I always wondered, whatever happened to Hanna-Barbera, as it was a animation giant? Well, Hanna-Barbera Studios failed to keep up with changing technology, and we're rehashing some of its most prominent tentpoles in the 80s. Although shows like the Smurfs and Dexter's Laboratory and the Powder Puff Girls kept the studio going, they were bought out by Turner Broadcasting System in 1991. And that's when they pretty much ended up on Cartoon Network, and that's when you could see a lot of the Hanna-Barbera properties. With the financial woes and lack of, distinct leadership within the studio, Hanna-Barbera was fully absorbed by Warner Brothers Animation in 2001, which was the worst thing that could have happened to them. Today, the Hanna-Barbera name is occasionally trotted out by Warner Brothers on some of its classic properties, including the endless Scooby-Doo offshoots and remakes. And honestly, the first movie of Scooby-Doo was okay, but everything after that has just been awful. Let's not forget Velma, that whole atrocity. Recently, Cartoon Network's European branch renamed itself Hanna-Barbera Studios in Europe, and they revived the name and the company's legacy in animation history. Now, Hanna-Barbera will always hold a special place in my heart, as I still revisit some of their titles from time to time. Fantastic Four, Space Ghost, Johnny Quest. I still watch those. I got the box set, and I still watch. I know it's kind of corny, but Yogi's First Christmas. I watch that every year. You can check that out on Tubi, along with a lot of other Hanna-Barbera titles. I still watch these things. It's good TV, and my kids enjoy it, and it's just good entertainment that we're just starving for nowadays. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this walk down memory lane with Hanna-Barbera, and I hope it gave you that retro blast from the past like it does for me. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and do leave me a comment. I do read them. Also, you can follow me over on Rumble and follow me over on X. I would really appreciate it. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.